And today, I think Spain is wonderful because there's a lot of young, skilled people that is unemployed.
Yeah.
But is there another favorite country for you to employ?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about developers, I would say Poland. Costs 25,000 crowns, Swedish crowns, to get a junior developer, 40 to get a senior. That's a pretty attractive thing. It's more or less half.
I've used Poland a lot as well. It's good.
And the level is good.
Yeah.
I think Spain, the level is not equally good. It's trickier to find good talent.
But in marketing, would that be Spain?
Marketing, potentially Spain. Depends. I mean, if you want to do direct sales, sales representative, UK is perfect. It costs £10 an hour. You have a local person that calls. So it always depends a bit on the thing. What's good in the UK is also that people are used to that. Not everybody's English. So if they hear that somebody has an accent, it's not a big deal because it's the UK in a nutshell. So it could even be somebody from Romania, some of the Baltic countries with a good English level. So I think definitely that. So I think like a lot of like the Baltic countries is a good bet for the English level. Technical skills are good, and it's the same time zone. India, trickier with time zone and cultural differences. It's just too hard. I mean, I've tried it twice and it's just it's too much management. So that's more or less my take on that thing.
And your partner, his role was.
So he also has an engineering background.
Yeah.
But he's been the person developing our growth strategies for get new places in.
Yes.
So he was the one that took us from the 300 rooms to 2,000 rooms in 6 months.
Fantastic.
And it's a pretty cool thing.
But that's mainly places where they've never heard about this before. So
yeah, it's all like, it's a lot of London.
Okay, that I understand. But to contact somebody in Sweden that never heard about it before without being present, that's really something.
So I think he's never met anybody except Scandic, which we both met. We met their like main management, but that's basically the only like sales meeting we've done because we saw that there was a value in try to take in like a larger account, even though Scandic is not there quite yet.
So it's just an email to them?
Yeah, it's an email program. So based on what they do in their communication, they get like different emails.
Yeah, exactly.
And that happens automated until it gets to a point where he does a manual part. But there are two parts of it. One is like to get them in contact and get like the low-hanging fruits. But then there's also like the actual creating the profile, which we also try to automate that part, which is also like really a slow thing. So I think in London we have like an average of 5 days once we get in touch with them to get them online. And we're always working on trying to reduce friction. So whenever we see that they're getting stuck on something, we see what we can address to quicken that time up. But we always try to have some sort of measure to get an idea on what is not efficient.
Fantastic. And of course you together have talked about your dream situation about the company for the future. I mean, if this hotel chain, they would give you totally free hands and you could develop it outside of whatever they're doing. I mean, that would sound good, but is that the case?
No, I mean, the deal in the hotel thing, and I think what the ideal for us is that somebody else can do, to also buy and take over an operational part. what we're trying to get into that deal is that we're part of like a more strategical part, because we've created a plan for the coming 2 years, and we think we know what could be good in terms of like growth, which markets you open, entry to market strategies, and what a next step is once you've entered the market, what you do with that. So we want to keep a part of the company, be part of like at the strategical level, but we're looking into ejecting ourselves from the operational part of the business, because we think that we can bring more value to the other part.
How about, would you be tempted to be owners still in the company in the future?
Yeah, with a larger part, or not larger part, a smaller percentage of the company.
So you want some money now and some shares. That's the ideal situation.
Exactly.
Little exit and some upside somewhere out there.
Exactly. And I think it's also a beneficial thing, because in the end, I mean, you're not just buying like a platform and customers, you're buying like knowledge. And we've been through the whole SEO part, we've been through the whole SEM part, and there are a lot of like learnings, mistakes.
So would you like to be employed in the company in the future, have some money out now and then be employed in the company, or just owning shares and then do consulting things for different...
The consulting part.
Yes. And money out now, what I mean, you're not planning on going on pension or something. It must be the second exit, that's the big one. So how much would you like to have now? I mean, this will refer to as little now as possible, and then a bigger chunk of the whole company.
Yeah.
But what is that?
So what's on the table more or less right now is 2 million crowns.
Yes.
And for that it's a 90% of the company. We remain on a 10%. The distribution now is 80%. I own 80% and Per owns 20%.
Now,
and it would reduce.
You don't know this company that I talked about. You know me for half an hour or nearly 1 hour.
Yeah.
so it's of course difficult to say, but you know the kind of company, and I've told you a bit of the story, and you know the kind of company with the hotel. What is now you're not talking to your colleagues, so it's not something that is binding you. But what is your feeling? Would you consider?
In terms of like
the Danish corporation.
Oh, the Danish corporation. Yeah, no, I think, I mean, from what I've heard, I think you have what you have, which we're missing, which is like your strength to what we have is that you're better with working with larger accounts. And definitely for that, I can see like that the direct sales model is a good model to proceed. There you seem to have like a working process on how to handle that. So I think that's one of your strengths. Our strength is that we're smaller. We've been able to do a lot of things on a small team. We have, I mean, I have first-hand experience in this industry, but for hotels, that's part of like our whole strategy is based on what I've seen on a previous journey. And I think these two complements are super good.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think those are like, I think that's why it makes it an interesting like a purchase or a merge or whatever we call it. And it wouldn't, since you guys are not here and you're not in London yet, that's a good like head start to get into like 2 new markets. And I would say, considering the burn rate, at a reasonable price as well, since you're burning 700. right now, time is critical. So in 3 months' time, basically, that's what you burnt. That
Exactly.
time.
Exactly. Thank you. I mean, I started out being open and frank with
Yeah,
you,
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that you did the same. Thank you very much. It's really
Super
really
interesting to hear
Thank you.
your story as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.